Anyways, like I said, the food was kind of meh in a sense that it's expensive, so be expected to save a lot of money when you come here. Unfortunately, I have credit cards and I just use them. Or you know, like I said, after con, if you have the time, you can go back to your room and eat a sandwich or whatever. I brought sandwich stuff with me and some water and some beer, of course. But like I said, it might be different for you because there's a difference between when I'm doing con swap stuff and, you know, someone else who's not. You have the luxury of going back to your room. But like I said, we were at the Hilton. Elevators weren't too insane. If you do go to Anime Midwest or ACEN, the rooming is still the same. So if you go to Hilton, here's the thing. So we parked at the Rosemont Garage, which is just a giant parking garage. When we parked with the Hilton, and parking was like $26 a night. We kind of got away with only getting charged once, so that's a plus. Not saying you're gonna get that lucky, but we did, so bonus. When we parked on the 3rd floor. That garage has 3 elevators for pretty much the whole garage, unless you get in on a different side wherever high it is or whatever, which is a different side of the garage. So there were 3 elevators. One was off. One worked sorta on Thursday or on Friday. By Saturday, it stopped working. It was stuck on the ground level, and there was another one open. So imagine 30,000 people at different times. Maybe there'd be like 6 to 20 people waiting for the elevator. How long would that take? Forever. We mostly just used the stairs, which then ensued me to walk even more. So the biggest plus about this vlog is some tips and tricks. Tip is, if you can, pack what you don't need the day before Sunday. Take it to your vehicle at night when people are all doing their panels and whatnot. You know why? Because it makes it a lot easier having to check out on Sunday. Because I took the rest of my stuff to my vehicle Sunday morning, which also sucked because the hallways are insanely small. The skywalk that goes from the parking garage to the Hilton and the convention center are small as shit. Hyatt is also connected to it too, but the Hyatt has their own parking, which is on their side of the building because it's really far away. And then, so when it's great to stay at the Hyatt. It's really freaking far away from the other hotel rooms, hotels, anyways. It's stupid because the embassy, which is right next to the Sky Bridge, isn't connected to the Sky Bridge. You would think they just knock out a couple of rooms and throw the bridge in there. No, it's not connected to the Sky Bridge, which is stupid. So, embassy people have to go out of the embassy, which is the front lobby, and then go up the elevator, up the stairs, to go to the Sky Bridge. Dumb, in my point of view. Another note is if you park for the embassy or the Hilton, you don't have to pay for your parking at one of those machine thingies inside the 2nd floor where the Sky Bridge is. You need to go to your front desk and they will give you a little card that's already been validated. You put in the machine so then you can leave. I didn't know that, so we struggled with that. And that's how I got away with only paying 1 night instead of 2 nights of parking. So instead of it being $52 full, it ended up being $26 because it seemed like they didn't want you to be there anymore. They just wanted you to get out. Trying to think what other shit things I had to deal with besides the lots and lots of walking. You will see in the video, I'll put clips of Synergy, which is Friday's rave in theory. Synergy is more of all the Japanese DJs that showed up. My personal opinion, and this is my opinion, I hated it. I hated Synergy. It was cool vibe. It was nice to see, broaden my expectations of rave DJs, but not my thing, because the way the Japanese did it was lots of clapping. I don't want to sit here and clap the whole time. My arms hurt. So lots of clapping. They do the build up to the drop. They do the build up. They do the drop. you know, we're dancing and stuff like that for a bit. And that happens and lasts for about a minute, 2 minutes, and then I'm talking like they cold turkey it and stop the music. I can't do that all the time. I can't dance and stop, dance and stop, dance and stop. So I stayed for a bit for synergy, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm done. So I left and went back to the hotel room. Showered and then went to bed. Saturday was the actual rave, the soap bubble. I loved the shit out of the soap bubble. It was so much fun. And I didn't go to the soap bubble until probably 10 or 11. I waited for my other con goers to show up to the hotel room. We talked for a bit before we left. I walked over there in my Kigurumi, and I think I went to the park. So across from the Hyatt was like an after party rave type thing. There were DJs out there playing, so I stayed out there with them for a bit. That blew my mind because I'm not used to, you know, if you asked anybody to look for any fucks, they weren't giving any. Trash everywhere, people smoking weed. You're going to get that from any other convention, and it's going to happen. Bigger conventions, even the party conventions, because I think this is the third biggest party convention in America. So I was outside drinking a beer, talking to people. It was pretty interesting. And I had my GoPro with me, so got some footage of that. You probably won't see a lot because when I was at the soap bubble, it was literally wall-to-wall people for a bit. What I thought was funny was when I got there, I walked across the street, and you can hear people saying, "Oh, is this the line for the rave?" That's fucking funny because it wasn't. I walked past it all, walked inside, walked to the left, and they checked my badge, and I went straight on in. It's like you think, why would they have all those stanchions inside and there's nobody in line? Because there's nobody in line. You're just standing behind a bunch of groupies. You have no clue what you're doing, or you're high or wasted. One of those two. They always joke that the official mascot for ACEN is a ambulance, and sometimes it is. A couple people were pulled out of different hotels, and you know, things like that. I think the big one is dehydration, which is the biggest one. We had someone stay in our room. He was kind of an egotistical bastard. I'm gonna leave it at that. What did he message us? It was we were in our room. I was just we were all just chatting and eating food, and I was paying attention. And he messages us. He's like, "I'm in the sick bay," and I'm like, "Why?" He's like, "I passed out at the rave." And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, "You were only at the rave for 30 minutes and you passed out? What a wuss." I don't like to toot my own horn, but I've been going to raves since MatsuриCon of last year, and I usually last at least 3 or 4 hours without dying per se. But the balance to that is, when you need water or you need a break, take a break. No one's mad at you because you're leaving the rave. I didn't need any water because I chugged a lot of water beforehand. So when I got there, I was at the back of the soap bubble. You'll have those people that want to be on their own, in their own little circles. You have those people that aren't really into the dancing, so they don't get too close. I am, and I'm into dancing and feeling the music and stuff like that. And you'll see me, if you ever see me at a convention, I'll be at the rave. So I made my way from the back, slowly, into the middle. I was next to 2 guys, and we were dancing, you know, and little sync dancing, stuff like this, you know, things like that. And then, eventually, people just kept leaving, and so I kept going closer, 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 closer. At one point, I'm at freaking first row of people, right to the stage. It was badass. I loved it. Yeah, it was pretty fun. I don't find that I go to any convention at a rave that I didn't have fun or danced a lot and had tons of fun. And that's why, and that's why I love going to these raves, because I get to bring a new type of review for you guys. Because there's not a lot of POV videos out there of raves. You'll get to some people that are holding their phone up, kind of thing, which I was doing a couple times. But it's a little different, and I think I like doing that. Especially because when you go to look up cons, you don't get a full slew of videos, especially for some of the smaller cons. Especially cons like Ryan's cons. There's a lot of Lash towards him and his conventions, and that's fine. If you want to just listen to other, here's the thing. And I felt the same way about OhioCon, and obviously YoiCon. YoiCon is one of Ryan's cons. I heard a lot of bad opinions about them. But here's the thing. You can hear bad opinions, you could hear me talk shit about these cons that I don't like things about it. But I'm not going to tell you not to go. Here's the thing. Take people's opinions with a grain of salt, because what they experience is based on their likes and dislikes. People talked a lot of crap about OhioCon. I went. I didn't care too much for the panels, but I had tons of fun. In my own way. Everyone's going to like and hate different things. But you can't create your opinion based on someone else's opinion. You have to experience it for yourself. And that's how I felt about ACEN. I mean, I wasn't sure if I wanted to go, and the same thing with Anime Midwest. I'm like, oh, big con, it's kind of scary. I'll go with friends, and that's nice. Smaller cons, I'll go by myself. I don't have to worry about it. Bigger cons like that, definitely go with people. It's definitely fun, especially if you have friends to go with. But, like I said, take people's opinions with a grain of salt, because that's how I felt about OhioCon. And now being on the other side of conventions, besides being a cosplayer and going to conventions as an attendee, being in charge of things for a convention, I get an idea and get to talk with people who run other cons, what it's like to feel what it is from the other side and why they do things the way they do, and they don't always get to control everything. Shit happens, you know? And now I understand why I don't always rate cons bad like I used to, because I kind of get, yeah, oops, they made a mistake, or something happened in the works, things like that. So, trying to think what else we need to talk about. Like I said, I didn't really get to do a lot of things. Had a lot of stress for the most of the time. Without naming any names, the struggle that we had 9 people in a room. That wasn't a boatload of struggle, it was just the whole idea of people sleeping. You know, we try to go in the room respectful and things like that, but you've got to understand is that if you're staying in a room and you want beauty sleep, maybe being in a room with 9 other people is probably not the best idea. Because I'm not trying to be rude, but if I go to the rave and the rave ends at 4 and I want to shower, I'm going to shower. Am I going to try to be respectful of noise? Yes, I will. But I'm going to, you know, there's no reason to get mad or spilt milk, because it's going to happen. So that happened. We had some guy, you know, he's just trying to fill the room. And this is why I don't like the whole idea of when people go on these convention pages saying, oh, we need one more person, or is anyone looking for a person? I'll stay with you in the room. It's great if you're respectful and you respect them and you pay them on time and things like that. We had somebody who made up excuses about not having money, that they would get money eventually to pay us. And not us, not me, but somebody who booked the room for us. And then he had the nerve, and you know, it's good to, you could go ahead and comment with angry faces, but he had the nerve to try to wake up earlier than all of us and peace, drop the mic, deuces, gone. And some people caught him trying to leave, and he got drilled for it, but we never got the money for it. So it's one of those weird confrontational things, like, do you get your money back? Do you beat the shit out of somebody? It's hard to tell. Because you're trying to carry yourself as a convention, and you don't want to hear rumors about, oh, I stayed with these convention people, they beat the shit out of me, you know? We couldn't really do that. So, watch out for some flakers out there. They definitely exist, and that's why, for smaller conventions, I'm perfectly fine with staying with people I know, or by myself. What's the other plus? Because it's a party convention, you're going to see a lot of things that you don't see at any other convention. For example, like YoiCon. YoiCon's full of kids most of the time. Kids, when I mean kids, I mean you're under 18. Kids. I can't tell you the number of boobs, butt, or lots of skin that I saw at ACEN. Lots of butt. I saw a lot of butt. A lot of butt. I mean, so much butt that I can tell you that, in a sense, someone was cosplaying, and I looked up, and they probably weren't underwear, but it was just full-on moon, double cheeks, I mean, you know, but that's what I'm saying is like you get some of these, like these conventions, like these big ones. I mean, the parents let their kids go, but they're with their parents, so you know. But you can't like, no one's walking around with a sensor bar. Like that's what you get to expose your kids to. Same thing with the Hyatt. The Hyatt has glass elevators, meaning people can see you. I was in the Hyatt talking to somebody, and they're like, "Hey, look up." I looked up, and I saw a butt. So, it doesn't faze me, because it's not the first time I've seen stuff like that, so it doesn't bother me. But, you know, be expected to be blown away by things you see, and you're like, they're allowed to do this? Why isn't anyone stopping them? Blah, 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 blah. They write them down as the rules and regulations. Do they enforce them? Yes and no. I saw two parents argue and almost beat each other up. That was weird. And that was in the middle of the vendor floor. I don't know what that was, but ACEN has an IRT and an immediate response team, so they took care of that pretty quickly. That's always nice, especially in those conditions. Like I said, when I was eating dinner at the Hyatt, I was reading my Facebook stuff, and they were advertising a party. Should have went just to experience it, but kind of glad I didn't, because it'd probably be like some kind of crazy ass college party. But I think it'll probably ring a bell. 2340 was the room number. It was in one of the VIP executive suites. It was pretty dope. It was lit. Lots of things heard and told about it, which is either on the ACEN Facebook page or on Reddit or Tumblr. One of those things. It was so lit that it was talked about like out the ass. Because I heard about some DJ getting beat up and then falling 15 feet to the concrete. He's okay, that's good, but you know, that stuff's scary when you hear about these things. And then they got the scary things, they got the stupid shit. Like, some girl took a deuce on a chair. Why? But these are things you have to watch out for. Like, about as crazy as I was walking down the Sky Bridge from the Hyatt back to the Hilton, and some girl was like, "Oh yeah, I was outside and some guy just handed me his Jack and Coke and I drank it," and she didn't look anything more or less of 21. But this whole idea of the paranoia, like roofies, things like that, and drugs, all across the board. There's this level of responsibility you must have for yourself or for others. I'm not saying you're playing mom or dad to people that you stay with, but it's a good idea to check on them and make sure that they're okay. That's just like a rule of thumb. Obviously, people that I stay with, I want to make sure that they're okay. Like the guy that was with us taking a bath at 4 in the morning. What? Yeah, but it wasn't too bad. And then if you're looking for good Asian Chinese food, we went to a place called the Wonton Buffet. It was a little bit outside of Rosemont, not too far, maybe like 2 or 3 miles from the hotel. It's right past the Rivers Casino. Yes, there is a casino literally right next to the airport. It's ridiculous. But they had some damn good food. Not too much to really talk about ACEN. Definitely a lot of fun cosplaying. Definitely a lot of fun talking to vendors and so forth. So, I hope you guys like this video. My next convention I will be at is Anime Midwest in July, first week of July, which is actually the same weekend of 4th of July. So it should be interesting. I'll have 1 day of work and 2 more days off. So it's going to be funny. Anime Midwest, and then 3 weeks later will be Doki Dokkan. So I hope to see you guys there if you're going. And if you want to know more about it, check out the Facebook page. I have links to it below. And we're looking forward to 2018 full of cons. Like I said, the con swaps that we end up doing is more closer to our convention because it's more relevant. After Doki Dokkan, you guys will see me at my annual first time wonderful convention that I went to for my first cosplay convention was MatsuryCon, so you'll see me at MatsuryCon in August. And then we're back to back to OhioCon starting off the January year. So, thanks for watching, guys. Like and comment below if you think of anything crazy that I missed. There's probably tons and tons of ACEN stuff that I missed out on. But I will definitely get the full experience with being as most responsible as possible. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace out. DJ Invasion 21 out. Peace.